Yo, 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 what's poppin'? What's going on? It's your boy, Mr. Locario, the bad boy, the dating game was good. So, in this video, I want to talk about how social media makes you think you're unattractive, right? So, this is what happens. When you guys go on a lot of social media sites, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, YouTube, or whatever, right? You're gonna see like a lot of influencers talking about looks, and you might even just see images and photos of people looking a certain way, and you're comparing yourself to those people. And then you have the influencers saying, well, if you don't look like this, then you're not attractive. And if you look like this, you're unattractive, and all this other nonsense, right? And what you have to understand is all of these people are full of shit, right? Understand this. People will say stuff like this person or that person is objectively attractive, right? There is no such thing as objectively attractive. All beauty is subjective. See, objective means that all people need to agree. So that would mean that pick any person out. That would mean everyone on earth would need to agree this person is attractive for them to be objectively attractive. And that does not exist. You understand what I'm saying? And the thing is, people, they'll say, oh, but, I'm just saying that most people would find that person attractive. Okay, let's go with most people. So most people in a particular culture may find this person attractive, but in other cultures, they might not, which means it's still subjective, even in that sense. You see what I'm saying? But the problem is that what most people don't understand is that when it comes to someone being physically attractive to a particular person, because it's subjective, right? There's a lot of things that go into that, right? So people try to simplify it by, well, if you have a symmetrical face and you got to have a certain jawline, and then that's what's going to make you attractive. And if you don't have that particular thing, then you're unattractive. And people listen to this horse shit, and then they start feeling bad about themselves because they, are comparing themselves to what all these people are saying is and isn't attractive, right? See, there's a reason why beauty is subjective, because what happens is it has to be subjective, right? Because people have to want to be attracted to other people so that things can actually progress and occur in nature. You understand? Meaning people got to get together because they're attracted to each other, have sex, and make more people. Right? So if there's this small percentage of people who are attractive and all these other people are unattractive, you know what I'm saying? What are we talking about here? Right? What happens is that people have their own taste, and a lot of times your tastes are based on what you were around when you grew up. You understand what I'm saying? Like certain things that you were accustomed to that can form and shape what you're attracted to. You understand? So a lot of times you don't even realize that you're attracted to certain types of women, if you're a man, for example, because of TV shows that you watched when you were younger, and they had a certain image on there, and that's why you're attracted to that type of girl or whatever it is like that. For certain women, they might be attracted to a certain man because of a certain type of man that they grew up around in their family or in their neighborhood or whatever it is like that, right? So you being attracted to someone is shaped a lot with how you grew up and what you were around and what you were accustomed to. You see what I'm saying? Now, people will say, well, some people are just conventionally attractive because most people will say this person's, looking this way or looking that way. Like I said, understand that in other cultures, that won't be attractive, and in this culture it might be attractive, right? A lot of times what happens is that when you see these videos about people talking about this person looks good, this person's not attractive, you see a lot of Eurocentric, beauty standards when it comes to this, right? So you'll be like looking at a video and a person will say, well, this person's nose is too big. Really? Too big compared to what? You know what I'm saying? So what this is the stupidness about this nonsense out here when people are worried about, being attractive or not being attractive. And it's fueled by social media. You understand what I'm saying? And so the problem is that people like to simplify this thing, but what they don't understand is that everyone is an individual, and everyone's going to have their individual tastes, right? And even though you may be influenced by society and by, certain things you grew up around, at the end of the day, you still have your individual taste on what you find attractive or not attractive. You understand what I'm saying? Like, for example, you have, I say, like for me personally, the women that I find the most physically attractive are the women who are on the thicker side. You understand what I'm saying? Not fat, but thick. And the women that I find least attractive are the super, super skinny Ariana Grande type chicks. Like, you know, and no disrespect to her, but I'm just using that as an example. I had a guy call into my show and he said the rapper Coi Leray is a 10. You understand? And he was like, she's like the hottest chick ever, right? So everybody has different things that they like or different things that they're attracted to. So there is no objective, attractive type of shit, right? And so people, they think they know this or understand this, and they'll try to go based on what society is saying and then go down that route. And this is how funny it is, because I've even had, you know, a lot of these looks maxer guys and a lot of these guys on the internet, they're like, oh, Lucario, you're not even good looking, you're ugly, you're this, you're that, right? But these are the same guys who will say that, you know, you got to look like a male model in order to you know, attract women. But they're saying that I'm not attractive, but I was a male model professionally back in the day. So which is it? And this is what shows you that it's subjective. And also, when guys are commenting on other guys' looks, that's kind of moist. I need to stop that bullshit. That's super moist. Stop worrying about how other men look if you're a man, unless you're gay. Then, you know, it is what it is. But a lot of you straight dudes, you know, you might not be straight. That's all I'm saying. But at the end of the day, what you got to understand is that beauty is subjective. And what's happening right now is if you notice, I saw a video the other day on TikTok. This girl in this video, she was talking about how a lot of women nowadays are starting to look the same. So, you know, kind of like a lot of women have that Kim Kardashian face where they got the Botox and the lips done, and they all kind of look like the Bratz dolls and stuff. And you know what I'm saying? They got the BBL. So all these women are changing how they look to try to look like how these women look, but then they're all looking the same. You see what I'm saying? It's ridiculous. So the problem is that women will watch this or see this on Instagram or whatever, and then aspire to be that and think that that's what makes them attractive. And this is the funny part, and I'll end with this, is that what makes you physically attractive is the unique look that you have. You understand what I'm saying? It's that uniqueness about you that makes someone physically attracted to you. Right? The problem is that so many people are trying to look the same and look like everybody else to fit in because social media and society told you this is how you're supposed to look in order to be physically attractive. And then you listen to that fuck shit, and then you're trying to look like everyone else. I've seen, you know, I'm not gonna say nobody's names, but I've seen, you know, content creators, like, you know, male YouTubers talking about they're gonna get a nose job and they're gonna get, you know, rhinoplasty and do some, you know, shit to their jaw and all this other nonsense, right? They putting on makeup and shit and doing all this other stuff, and they're trying to look like, you know, somebody else, and they're not embracing how they are, you know, naturally. You understand what I'm saying? This is crazy. This is crazy. And you might be saying, look, Harry, you don't understand, man. You're so fucking gorgeous. You're just a really, really attractive guy. I know. I maybe that's the issue. Maybe that's the issue. But what I'm saying is, love your goddamn selves. A lot of you are being confused and caught up and brainwashed by social media. You understand what I'm saying? Social media is telling you that you have to look a certain way or else you are not attractive. And when you listen to that poison, that's going to actually affect how you view yourself, which is going to also affect your dating life, your relationships, and all that other good shit. All right? So that's pretty much it. Listen, guys, if you have any questions, hit me up at shoplucario.com and badboymembership.com. I'll holler at you later. Remember, the truth is inside you. Peace. I'm gone. I'm out.